Good morning. I am coming on today to talk a little bit about why we don't have heat at Awake. And if you live in the Sacramento area, you may have noticed that it's really warm outside. So there's a lot of fiery energy out there, or a lot of pitta energy. And I remember hearing a study years ago that talked about how there's more violent crimes when it's hot outside. And I thought that was so fascinating that just the temperature outside could impact how people act and behave. And then years later, when I got into yoga and learned more about Ayurveda and the elements, it made total sense. So when it's hot outside, there tends to be more that fiery energy. And if we don't know how to deal with that within ourselves, it can lead to aggravation and frustration and irritation. And so it can be really useful when it's hot outside to come into a cooler space. And it gives you this opportunity to find a sense of ease in the body and the mind and the emotions, so that you're not fighting the elements and can be more present with what's happening within this vessel right here. And then when it's cold outside, we do turn on the heat so that you're coming into a warmer space to find that balance. So again, you're not coming from a cold space into another cold space. You're coming into a little bit warmer space so that the body can settle, the mind can settle, the emotions can settle, and you can be present with what is. And if you think about Tantra yoga, and Tan means energy, and Tra means expansion. So in Tantra, we're really dealing with our energy and learning to work with our energy. So knowing how to activate our prana, our energy, knowing how to calm it down. So again, that energy of heating up or cooling. And we can do that with the practices of yoga. So we teach a lot of pranayama practices at Awake, and there's so many breath practices that you can do. And there's a lot of breath practices to activate your energy and to build heat in the body. And so when you're doing that, when you're doing these breath practices, it's best to do them in a room temperature environment so that you could really feel what's happening in your body and know whether you need to kind of take your practice up or bring it down. And so it's, again, this deep, deep listening of what's happening to the body. And then if the body's kind of overheated, you can use more of the cooling breath practices to cool the energy that's happening in the body. And so the practice of yoga is being present with what is and coming into balance and noticing yourself on all levels, the level of the body, the level of the mind, the level of the emotions, the heart, and being able to find that place of grounding, that place of being fully alive, that place where you can have the capacity to be present with what is, and then really work with your energy to find that inner stability, that inner peace inside. And what I've found in my practice, that